What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We are live. We're streaming on YouTube and on TikTok as well. Welcome in, everybody. Sunday night, my second stream of the day. So, pretty excited. I actually did a stream this morning. Sorry, I'm just going to put my slippers on. Probably should have done that before I went live. Anyway, second stream of the day. We're going to be talking all things crypto this evening, as we always do every single night. But anyway, lots to get into. Very interesting Sunday. Loads of people were calling the pump on Sunday. I was never kind of convinced. I definitely think the week ahead, I'm just getting a bit more comfortable. Could be interesting. But yeah, we never really called like a super crazy pump. But still, markets are holding up. There is some very interesting stuff going on, though, that we'll touch on in tonight's live stream and sort of break down what that could look like, certainly as we look to the week ahead. And I guess start to get into the world of saying, well, are we officially going to go up? Are we going to go down? What's the sentiment like? And some key levels on some charts that we'll talk about as well. So, as always, welcome in. Hit the like button and subscribe if you're brand new. We just broke 38,800 subscribers on YouTube. So shout out to everybody for that. Let's make sure that we're absolutely sending it tonight. And then likewise, welcome in if you're here on TikTok as well. I appreciate your support as always. But yeah, 2 streams in one day. 37 you were there this morning. That was a good stream, actually. I enjoyed that. I need to do some more of those. It was actually like a really kind of cool stream. But yeah, welcome in 37. Good to see you. 2-bit crypto memes is in the bullish. Get it, 2-bit crypto memes. What's going on, Craig? Big Al in the building. Robert Dover's here as well. Welcome, Tim Shea. Tomato Pete. Cheese, I think you're on 2 platforms. Good to see you. Curtis, welcome. Tomato Pete. I think I've said hello to you as well. But yeah, we were a little bit earlier. And then Ellie coming in fresh right now. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. As well as Team Unique says, how you doing, pal? I'm good, mate. Thank you. Appreciate you being in here. As always, the Beard, welcome in. Calvin Hill, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Good to see you. George Hansen, welcome, George. JJ, good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here as well, as always. Ollie Holmes, Cheese is there as well. And yeah, everyone's jumping in. So, like I said, hit up the like button, tap that screen, baby. Let everybody know we're here. If you want to share out the stream as well, that would be greatly appreciated. Just letting know that we are live. So, with that being said, let's get into a little bit about what's going on in the market. Oh, not again. Come on, 2-bit. Jesus. There we go. Oh, where am I? There I am. Just disappeared. You know what I mean? Anyway. XRP Hodler, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. YouTube hoodie, no, this is like an old school hoodie, this. But yeah, I been out all day, so I was a bit cold, so I just decided that I was going to wear it. So anyway, but yeah, good to see you. Gecko, man, what's going on? So where are we in what is happening right now on Bitcoin? Well, the reality is a couple of things to look at. You guys can look this way, by the way, TikTok, so come back in a minute. So a couple of things to look at. This key level that we've been discussing now for probably like a week, basically. This kind of 105,700 range. I mean, it's between 115,600, 115,700. And Bitcoin actually holding up today. Volume is super pants, so just FYI, volume is way down. I mean, way down. Just to give you kind of an example of what that looks like, 4,000 Bitcoin today. We look at Friday, for example, we had double that volume. And I know weekends tend to be a little bit quieter, but super boring when it comes to this. Macro, though, here on BTC is actually starting to look okay. We still look pretty favorably here again as well when you start talking about EMAs and particularly the trend. And I think this is kind of where we talk about, as opposed to getting sort of bogged down in the micro, let's understand where the macro sits right now. And actually, when you sort of break this down, it is absolutely in a place where I think we've got more legs to come, and I think we've got movements. Also, and I'm just going to jump ahead a little bit, ETH is actually holding up pretty well as well. So this is all good news. Now, one of the other key things to think about here, and it is important, if we take the all-time high that we came in back here in the middle of August at 124,177, and we take that to the recent low on the Fibonacci retracement, well, as you can see here, the 0.5 fib is literally perfectly aligned to this sort of trend line that we've got running across here. Now, this sort of tells us a couple of things. One, it tells this line in the middle is very important. The 0.5 at 115,764 is really important, not only from a Fibonacci perspective, but equally just from a support and resistance level. So not only have you still got a slightly more bullish momentum, at the same time, this becomes a critical level. You can also see on here, by the way, the rejection at the 618 comes in here, right? this is important to think about. We know then that actually 117,761 is our bullish price target for this week. We're looking for that break above 117,761. This is kind of where we're looking for. This could signal a breakout, and that's probably what we look at on the daily candles, okay? Important to reference that breakdown. We're looking at 113,767. So if you're in a world of saying, well, okay, maybe we see a little bit of bearishness this week, maybe we sort of get some not good news. We'll talk a bit about what's coming this week, by the way. We'll talk about what's coming this week, but this plays out at a pretty important level, both sides, up and down. Now, equally, when you start to walk through this a little bit more, and I was kind of looking at this earlier, you got a couple of really key ranges that we're looking at, okay? So this is kind of a key to the upside. So, I mean, we could probably cover this green as an example. I'm not going to leave it on, but you'd sort of be in that world of saying, okay, if we were to see this play out, right? And you can sort of bring it all the way across here, which is where you get the range from. It's probably a little bit narrower. A little bit narrower. So this is kind of going to be our key range to the upside. And hopefully, therefore, we're going to see this kind of breakout. Now, to the downside, where do we see this kind of range of volatility? We'll go for the simplest, just to make life a little bit easier. And actually, when you start to play the downside, this would be the downside risk. So anything past this point here on the downside probably plays out in terms of a breakdown. And this is kind of where you start to walk a couple of these things. So this range here was obviously down to the breakdown. You can see how we support here on a number of things. So that kind of gives us a range, or it gives us a working model in between these two kind of critical levels that we can talk. Now, if we went to go into a little bit more narrow and said, well, okay, where are we actually at right now? And ultimately, what is the price of BTC doing? Well, again, we are still in a macro sentiment slightly bullish. Okay, we can't deny that. On the 4-hour chart here, you can see that we are still slightly more to the upside, which again is good news. However, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, we are definitely at a inflection point where we could go one of either way. Likewise, you see on the hourly chart, this is going to therefore come down to what do the markets open like? More importantly, what does the Nikkei open like and the Hong Kong Stock Exchange? Do they come in and buy Bitcoin? So then you kind of get to the place of saying, well, why are they going to come and buy Bitcoin? What's going to be the narrative that's going to push this? And then ultimately, how is this going to sort of push the week? Well, we'll talk about earnings and equally what's coming through this week. But one of the key things I think to note here is Ethereum is holding up way stronger than Bitcoin. Now, if you were to say, well, I think markets tops in, I think we're going to zero, I think it's all a bit pants. Okay, fine. Well, ETH's actually holding up better than you would expect on a number of particular coins, right? And I think this is kind of a good sentiment where we should see a push up. And actually, when you look at ETH from the recent lows, we are actually at a key level as we start to move to the upside. So again, this is, for me, going to be the big driver of what happens this week. If ETH loses this range, then I think we could see a little bit more pain in the markets. I'm still very much optimistic for the bull market and for the continuation. However, Ethereum's going to be our big indicator this week, and one that we're going to have to stay close to understand exactly how the market's playing out. You could argue and say, okay, well, I'm going to go on Solana. It's still printing very, very well. XRP broke below $3, retested 236 Fibonacci, held, but could easily drop back into the range. So we're going to have to keep an eye on XRP. But for me, Ethereum and BTC are going to be the ones that we're going to have to keep an eye on. And they, in my opinion, are going to play out how this market looks for this week. In my view, anyway. In my view. Now, BNB breaking out. Good news. The rest of the market is trash. All right, let's just call it as it is. There's not a lot. Now, there's a couple of coins that are actually performing better than we expected. AVAX is up marginally 0.5. Again, broke this price target that we had. So great news. Did, however, get rejected that upper range that we talked about. We thought we might get 36. Didn't quite get it, but still broke down a little bit. Near Protocol doing the same. Rest of the market's not doing too good. Now, World Liberty Financial is actually starting to move pretty aggressively. Again, if you remember, this is one that I talked about. Man, I think I was clear in terms of what I did. And actually that structure playing out, the breakout is happening, which again, we've been kind of talking about. So yeah, look out for World Liberty Financial on the back of expectations of Burns. I think if they bring something in next week, that could be good news. And then the one that everyone's talking about, Asta. Now, I actually did play a position in this last night, and I took a way overpriced position at 171. Had to DCA my way down, and then it managed to pump up. Woke up this morning, 192, got out of there because I thought it was way overpriced. And I'm just going to wait and see what happens right now. I know there's a lot of people pushing this, and there's a lot of people excited about it. I actually have a video on the second channel if you want to go check it out. But it's an interesting play. I think it's good news. And I think I'll see what happens. I'm going to watch this over the course of the next couple of hours. It may present itself as an opportunity to get in. But yeah, I mean, I took a 171 and then I took a 158. And then managed to kind of get out at 193 or something like that, I think it was. So it turned out to be okay, but the dip is in. The question therefore has to be, what goes next when it comes to Asta? Do we see this kind of reversal come in? If you start to look at it on the daily, I mean, it looks totally fine as to where it is. It's when you start to break down a little bit more on the macro that you sort of get to a place. So I've got a little bit of news to touch on Asta. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. And then look, gold is an interesting one. Great video coming out, just in my opinion, by the way. About gold and how this is going to play out over the course of the crypto markets. But like I said, it's a pretty average Sunday. And as optimistic as I was wearing this hoodie, I think it's pretty warm in here. So bear with me 1 second, everybody. Smooth like butter. So yeah, let's go on TikTok. That's kind of where the charts are playing out right now. And I think this is kind of where we need to look at. The macros clearly when it comes to BTC. So that's the one that everybody is keeping an eye out. If everyone's talking about it, is it probably late? It depends. When I say everybody, it's like people that are all in my feed that are talking about it. CZ's talked about it. It depends. It goes from hype to key utility. And I think that's where the potential transition is. So you get, you know, it's a perp dex where people are trading on it. If that spike in volume comes in, bear in mind today it did more than Hyperliquid, which is pretty interesting. If a shift went over there, you know, you could see it rally a little bit further. So we'll see. However, everything has a dip. We always talk about this on the channel. Everything gets a dip. And in my opinion, that's exactly what happened right now. What's going on, Vern? So yeah, worthwhile just sort of seeing how that plays out. Okay, that's the charts. We'll come back on the charts in just a little bit. Let's kind of get into a little bit of what's going on and everything else. So Michael Saylor looks like he's coming in to buy more Bitcoin tomorrow. Don't know if you guys have seen it, but watch out. He actually posted out saying this: the orange dots go up and to the right. So clearly he is signaling another purchase. The problem here is, like, I know that he's buying a lot of Bitcoin. That's fine. Doesn't really do much for the market though, does it? I'd love to know where he actually buys it from. Does he go and buy it off OTC? Is he calling up CZ and is like, hey, get Richard to send me some more Bitcoin? Anyway, interesting. He is going to go and buy some more Bitcoin. Now, in terms of what do we got this week, and I think this was just kind of what I want to touch on, just to give you a bit of a view as to, you know, where we are. So the US macroeconomic data this week, this could play out favorably or not. One of the key ones we're going to get is core PC inflation that will come through Friday and consumer sentiment, which will be Friday as well. What else have we got, though, that could play out in terms of markets? You got new home sales, as well as jobless claims coming in Thursday. Watch out for that. Durable goods orders. I don't think it makes a big deal, but the manufacturing PMI that comes in on Tuesday is going to be an indication. Why? Because it's going to indicate exactly what's going on with tariffs. Now, the rumors, and I say the rumors, the data as well is suggesting that a significant increase in tariff revenue. Now, Dave, what's going on, buddy? Now, it is all about where they put it into practice. No, that's the reality, isn't it? So yes, we know that tariffs are generating revenue for the US. That's fine. The bigger debate is what they're going to do with it and how, therefore, that is actually going to play out more favorably. The honest answer is, if there's more money to play with, then in theory, this could be a untapped resource in which they go and buy Bitcoin for a Bitcoin reserve, or they start to put it back into the economy. Who knows at the minute? We know, and if you haven't seen that Bitcoin video I dropped earlier, please go and check it out. It talks all about the Fed balance sheet, and it also talks about something called the federal... man, what's it called? I forgot about this earlier. I think I was telling you guys this morning on TikTok. Basically, it's like the federal balance sheet, but it's not called that. It's called something else. Oh, can I remember what it's called? Oh, is it? It might be this, actually. I think it might be the Fed. Oh, yeah, I think it is. Okay, yeah, here it is. It's called the Fed Total Asset, basically the total asset, right? How much the Fed has. And generally speaking, back in 2021, they were accumulating treasuries, they were accumulating bonds. This was all to get to the number that they set. They said it, by the way. This isn't looks like a magic number I pulled out of thin air. $850 billion. And then what happened is throughout the 2021 bull market, basically they were selling these off, buying back debt, trying to, bolster the economy the best way they could. The US Treasury Department doing exactly the same. Well, guess what? They're doing exactly the same right now. This is playing out, in my opinion, very, very favorably. And we are very close to seeing that number yet. Again, this could signal the first move in terms of easing, federal kind of quantitative tightening, etc. I know we've had one rate cut. People obviously aren't really that asked about it, but I think in terms of where that sits, that is starting to play out more favorably. And again, I can literally show you this on a chart. So what you can see here is this is back in 2021, right? In fact, we might have to go back 5 years. Can we do 2020? Let's do 20. Oops. Let's do 2019. January 1st. Okay, perfect. So this is 2021, okay? So you can see it here. So this is the accumulation on this balance sheet where basically they're buying bonds, they're buying treasuries, they're, buying yield-bearing stocks, whatever it is, right? They're buying, they're issuing these, etc., right? So basically, this is where they are accumulating this value. And that could be anything. They're issuing debt, basically, right? Issuing debt. People are buying treasuries, buying bonds. This is obviously the capital coming in. Then the flip side happens. And you can see here, the early part of 2021, and bear in mind, the bull market ended in about November of 2021, okay? You're going to look at the price. So what you can see here is significant push down all the way as markets got way bullish. And you can see the bottom coming in at December the 8th, which was about 3 weeks past the Bitcoin bull market top of 2021. Now, fast forward to where we are right now, and you can see that we are starting to accumulate yet again, following the exact same pattern that we followed before 2021. This, for me, tells us that we are doing the same, right? This is absolutely doing the same. And therefore, and I'm still not going to 2026, by the way, just FYI. But this is where you could get into a world where, okay, they get to the number they want. Bear in mind, this capital could be going elsewhere. This capital could be going into markets. It could be not issuing debt, paying off the actual $37 trillion that they've got, but they're accumulating here. You heard it with Trump's first term where they were accumulating oil and all the rest of it to become energy independent. Well, this is playing out the same. Therefore, we could see this hypothetical at the minute, by the way, we could see a 2026 market that we saw in 2021 based on the fact that the liabilities and capital markets, they are buying like crazy. You also notice that banks and other than reserve balance US Treasury general account, this is where they sit on the week. So worth noting this, and I think this will play out pretty interestingly over the course of probably the next 4 weeks, aligned to the fact that we know that tariffs are yet again generating revenue, and this could speed that process up. Therefore, you could see a quicker move on those markets. But I thought that was pretty interesting to think about. Many people, though, are obviously bullish on what's coming on. This is another interesting one as well. The dollar currently sitting at 14-year support, hanging on by a thread. If we see the dollar break down, it would be great for Bitcoin markets, okay? Maybe not so great in terms of recessionary fears, but if you are a Bitcoin holder and the dollar weakens significantly, then this is going to be good news, okay? This will be good news. She's not on CDC or Coinbase yet either. I was going to hop in at 0.8, but not going to miss the recent dip. What's that for? Oh, Asta, yeah. You can get it on, I think it's on quite a few exchanges. It's on Binance, Mexi, a couple of others. I can't remember exactly what it is, but yeah. Pretty interesting. Danielle coming in fresh right now. What's going on? Don't forget, do share us out, please, everybody. That would be greatly appreciated. Just letting everyone know that we are obviously live and bringing it fresh right now. So, yeah, that'd be good if you could. As always, we appreciate you, fam. Always good to have it. Did anyone see that? Yeah, I did, yeah. It was like $9 or something. But yeah, anyway, this could be a play out. Once again, if you note what you see on this chart, and there's a couple of key things here. That's why the title's called Make Sure You Plan to Win, because back in 2021, guess what? We had exactly the same setup, retesting the 14-year trend line at a point, and then we saw the markets absolutely skyrocket. This is playing out exactly as before. Now, many people have you believe the market's going to zero, all that kind of stuff, right? But again, when you look at the technicals, which again was what I was talking about this morning, everything is playing out as you would expect it to play out. Now, Always worth noting as well, ETF inflows into spot Bitcoin and Ethereum actually have increased as well over the course of the last week. This is setting records according to the Farside data. ETF inflows, one of the main bullish drivers in the market, which is why we've probably been pretty quiet over the course of the weekend. But again, you can see more and more accumulation of actual spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF, all right? Well, I think that's kind of a fair point. And we'll see how this therefore plays out in this week. Expectation is that we're probably going to see some buy. Remember, Friday, BlackRock stopped buying. That's the question. Why did they stop buying? But actual data suggesting that we are going to see a little bit more move. And then look, if you're not bullish enough, just look at a chart that basically tells you should be way more bullish. So here on the weekly candles, the rumor mill is going now that, look, the bullish cross is in on the RSI and the MACD, and we are going higher. Not financial advice, never is on this channel, just an opinion based upon this individual that tells us that we're going higher. So that's fine. And then finally, just anyone who didn't see my Asta video, apparently Mr. Beast is officially buying Asta. I don't know how true it is. Allegedly, he bought $114,000. I think he's pretty much underwater, though, because he bought that last night when it was like 70 cents. So unlucky Mr. Beast, however, might play out more favorably to the upside if that was to be the case. APX on a rampage, boys. Should have got in. Yeah, good call in the investment group, Al, if you got in early. Good call. Should I start browsing my Lambo colors? Not yet. No, not yet. I don't think so. I don't think so. Warren Bennett, what's going on, buddy? I thought Warren Buffett. Imagine that, yeah. If he's in it. Yeah, well, allegedly he is. Look, allegedly he has been buying... he did buy, well, he transferred USDT and then went and bought Asta. So again, maybe he's just going to go and trade some perp decks. Mr. Beast is going long on Ethereum like an absolute chad. Imagine that. Anyway, allegedly this is exactly what happened. You see there, these rolls are some of the other complete shite Mr. Beast allegedly is bought. I mean, Ape Coin, he likes the exchange coins, doesn't he? I mean, I imagine most of them probably just send it across to him, by the way, but anyway, some absolute trash in here. I'm sure that many of you, look, he bought some FTX coin, probably just a pump and dumper. Do you know what I mean? Get out of here, Mr. Beast, you massive pump and dumper. But yeah, apparently that's what he's doing. We'll see how that plays out. I think Asta is a definite interesting one. I definitely think Asta is interesting as to where it is. I haven't used the platform. I don't really do decentralized trading, to be honest, but we'll see. Feg, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Good to see you. Welcome everybody else well, by the way. Just do me a quick favor, tap the screen, let people know they're in here. I really appreciate it. Crypto Weewo, what's going on? Welcome to you. Simon Bell's in the house. Good to see you, Simon. Appreciate it. Hiya. I mean, I hope so. Matthew. Could be an interesting week, I reckon. Could be an interesting week. Again, we will sort of see how that plays out. But anyway, that kind of breaks down a little bit as to what is going on and how the market structure sits right now. By the way, if you are interested in any of this kind of alpha calls, equally, we called the World a Big Financial move. We called Asta. What else do we call? AVAX move. You can get that by simply becoming a channel member. Link is at the top of the chat. It's cost you a couple of bucks, or subscribe here on TikTok. You're going to get access to our premium Discord, in which you've got all the chart analysis, alpha calls. Bear in mind, we had an alpha call on a coin that came in that did a 4x on that. So again, it's like $7 a month if you're interested. Get in now before it's too late. You don't have to. Like I said, it's not financial advice. It does help out the channel though. Good, right. Always bullish. Always bullish. Right. Oh my god, nearly 13,000 likes already. Warren says, only few no gents. Lovely work to a bit. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it, buddy. Judging by the last chart, I think we could be seeing an extra large elongated rectangle like the one in 2011. 2011? The hell, bro? Lydia, oh man, everyone seems to be talking about that. Everyone's talking about it, and I don't know why. All right, I'm just gonna come clean. I don't know why. Now, people may hate me for it. Did they do an airdrop? I feel like they did an airdrop, but I don't know. But yeah, everyone for some reason is telling me that is something to take a look at. But I'm sorry, I'm just not interested. Maybe I should be. I mean, what's it at now? 34 cents. I mean, some 20% of the day. Oh, it's not 8% of the day. Oh, hold on a minute. Yeah, 21% of the day. So actually starting to move a little bit. Market cap of 538 million. Again, I don't know too much about it, so I don't want to pass too much judgment on it. But yeah, everyone seems to tell me about this. Maybe I need to do some research. Okay, I'll do some research. Fine, I will do some research into it. But yeah, I mean, it kind of looks all right. Volume's up 40% as well. So yeah, I know that quite a few in the Discord were looking at this one. Yeah, cool. Good. Right. Let's talk a little bit on some news, and then we'll get into any coins, any thoughts, any opinions, or anything you guys want to talk about in just a minute. So yeah, let's get into the last few bits of news. So look at this. Whales reap over 6.7 million from the Asta surge. Bear in mind, people could buy in super early on this. Two whales profit over 6.7 million from Asta. Whale activity signals bullish market sentiment, with Asta's trading volume and TVL significantly high post-launch. I mean, that's true. That is true, by the way. 145. So it did actually wick all the way down to 133. That might have been an opportunity, but we'll see where this comes in. On the 4 hour, showing a slight bit of strength, but down 12%. I mean, I would be waiting and seeing how this plays out over the course of the next couple of hours, maybe even 24 hours. I mean, I'm not really sure. But again, the fact that you see these two significant addresses taking $6.7 million in profits tells you that those guys got in early. And I'm sure there's plenty of other whales, plenty of other wallets are in there as well. So it is big. It's doing some big things. I only think, though, I'm just going to be dead clear and honest in my opinion on this. I only think it's getting this hype because of CZ. I really do. I don't think there's anything crazy special about it. The perp trading DEX platform. All right, fine. I don't see what's so super crazy special about it, but maybe I'm not seeing the right thing. Maybe I'm not seeing the right thing. I don't know. She says, I don't remember having an extra large elongated rectum in 20. I mean, that's true. That's true. It's slightly out there. But anyway, and then Michael Saylor updates Bitcoin tracker. Obviously, we touched on this anyway, but he's looking to buy more BTC. Get it right. Another thing to think about. Something we've been sort of discussing here. Gold versus Bitcoin and the performance through the lens of money supply. Now, we've touched on this on BTC. I'm sorry I'm flicking around a little bit, but it is worth just being really clear. We are obviously in this kind of consolidation phase. When we look at M2, again, you can see here, look, we saw the slight tick up, albeit we then get sort of dumped all the way back down. You'd argue based on M2, we've probably got a couple of days of sideways momentum, followed then by a pretty strong move towards the back end of September, if you play specifics on M2. Now, the reality is that at the minute, and this is what I've got a video coming out about later on, is you are seeing banks buy gold, right? They're not buying Bitcoin. When that changes, everything changes and the whole monetary standard changes. But look at this. Gold has done well of late, but hasn't made new highs relative to the broad money supply since 2011. Bitcoin, on the other hand, has. And I think this is where the difference does come in this point. Gold has failed to outpace money supply growth in 2011. Okay, well, that's cool. Bitcoin, meanwhile, consistently makes new highs relative to the M2 cycle. What does this mean? When you have strong M2, then we have strong BTC, all right? It's definitely worthwhile noting on those couple of things. The difference in performance could highlight different roles of the two assets. People are speculating when it comes to BTC versus gold, which tends to be an asset that we're holding. So again, as you see new highs coming on M2, we start to see BTC doing exactly the same thing, and you're sort of seeing it now play out again on this chart. So look, this is sort of playing out in line, relatively speaking, that we'll see M2. Again, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. I'm not saying this is like a golden line that everything's going to follow, but history tells us that when global markets print money, and I've been talking about this for ages, it's not necessarily about cuts, it's about money printing. Money printing issues treasuries, it issues debt, it issues bonds, and in theory, then it will push liquidity into the market because that's essentially what they're doing. So it's worthwhile noting. What we need to see, though, is gold chilling out. And we're not seeing that, by the way. Sorry, I'll show you. Gold is continuing to rip higher. So we need gold to chill out a little bit. And then we could absolutely start to see that little bit of a pivot back into BTC, okay? Adjusted for M2, gold, despite its recent strong, remains below its 2011 peak. Bitcoin isn't, right? Bitcoin is sitting with new records versus M2 versus last month and pretty much most months as well. So again, this could play out. Again, it's going to be an indicator as opposed to a golden standard that we should hold ourselves to. Hey man, watching from Warrington. Flare seems to be keeping its position and news on this. I've just heard they announced staking and collateralized lending. Am I making that up? I feel like that's what I heard about Flare. I think he's doing pretty well, but yeah, shout out to you, Dave Collins. Welcome in, buddy. Isn't that M2 a load of dog shit? It doesn't even correlate and has decoupled many times. Is it reliable? I think it's reliable from the sentiment of understanding liquidity coming into the market versus it being an absolute definitive idea. Generally speaking, if you look at the history of M2, when M2 goes up, so does risk assets because money becomes cheaper. Similar story with property, really, and RWA. So yeah, Global entertainment could be many people having savings, pensions, and other places. No guarantee it's going into any market, let alone the riskiest end of the market, crypto. An increase in M2 though. So by that standard, you're defining M2 as people just having pensions. It's got to come from somewhere, hasn't it? It's got to come from somewhere. So M2, so for example, you saw it with China when they printed money for their housing markets. The Fed hasn't really printed craziness, but I think they will. Which will then overhype the market. Everyone gets super high. You're going to get sort of crazy people taking like massive money out and, you know, leveraging loads of debt based on low interest rates. And that's kind of where it'll set up the massive bear market and probably the next recession. But still worth noting as gold continues to rip higher. So again, we need gold to kind of chill out. Nadal, what's going on, pal? Payday next week. Need another dip so I can stock up more. Calamari, what's going on? Elegant says we're expecting BTC and ETH to go lower. I said right at the very start of the stream, for me, we're in a very important inflection point right now based on BTC. ETH actually is performing pretty well. So if ETH can drag the market, then we could be okay. It's going to depend on what happens at market open, which is going to be in about 3 hours time. And then it'll depend on what happens in the US. Remember, all of last week, Asia generally bought, Europe held, US dumped. Pretty much is kind of how it went. So what are the technicals telling us though? Bitcoin, is it ready for the next big rally? This is the debate that everyone is having right now. It's a pivotal moment as it trades below the 120K. With price action tightening and bulls struggling to push through key levels. I think you can argue this over the weekend because we haven't really seen much, but this is worth noting. It's a little bit easier to see here. We are, however, still showing bullish on a couple of these key indicators. So in that sentiment, I'm fine. If we were to get, you know, not a great open of the markets, let's say that the Asian markets decide they're going to dump. Okay, fine. Dump BTC, right? Whatever. It's going to depend, therefore, how that plays out over the course of the week. If we don't get some institutional buying, it might be a bit painful. But when you look at the back end of last week, BlackRock, again, coming in pretty aggressively with an average of 45.9 BTC bought every single day over the period of the last 2 weeks. So we could argue here that BlackRock are pretty much holding the market up. Now, they did stop buying on Friday. This is worth noting, as opposed to them buying more. Now, again, that could just be the fact their customers thought, well, let's just chill out. Let's see what happens. Let's see where the market goes before piling back in this week. I think that's going to be the key thing to look out for, particularly when we get into these whole ETFs. But generally speaking, I think we'll see some more inflows. Will it be the craziest numbers in the world? Probably not. But if we get some pretty optimistic data and news, maybe that then starts to play out a little bit more favorably. Maybe. We'll see. It is also, though, worth noting, and many people forget this, we are still at 6.57%, the second best September in history when it comes to BTC so far. This obviously is playing out, once again, favorable versus where I think a lot of people expected us to be. So, you know, we could easily see this back over 10% this week, in my opinion. I think it's all playing out notably. Can you look at Velo, please? Yeah, remind me in about 5 minutes when we get to the DeFi section. So remind me that and we'll take a look at it for sure. So, yeah, and then equally when you look at the quarters, by the way, Ethereum's about to have its best Q3 ever, and Bitcoin at 7% is actually booking the trend as an average as well. So you would argue, generally speaking, Q4 is very optimistic. You look at BTC as an average of 52% in Q4, Ethereum at 23%. So we're going into the biggest bullish month of the year, the biggest quarter of the year as well, which could play out way favorably. And even if you took the average on October, by the way, of 21% from 115, where does that take us to? And I think we've said this a number of times. A 20% move at 115 takes us to about 140K. It's not the worst number in the world. Bear in mind, that's if we finish now. You know, let's say we get to 120 as an example by the end of September, and you say, well, okay, well, then we start going to October, we do another 20% move. Takes us a little bit towards about 146, which probably isn't the worst number. I think I'd like it a little bit higher, but look, that could be where we play out, and that could absolutely be where we sort of end up sitting. If, and it is a big if nothing else changes. Now, if anything kind of goes crazy, then, you know, that we might start to see it push a little bit further, but we'll see. Tips is a call asked. Nice. John, what's going on, pal? It seems silly that countries are actually playing against each other. Surely it would work better if we worked together and did the same thing. Yeah, but you get into this world of like trading goods, not capital. That's the problem, isn't it? It's a capitalist market, baby. November 23 pump. Yeah, that's it. 2B still going with mid-October and 140 to 165, bro. You got no, not mid-October. 25th was where I had my deadline. That's the end of October. So, you know, look, I'm still in that place. I'm not seeing anything that's going to tell me that we're not going to do it. And like we said, 30% month of October, we could still hit that. We can still hit that. So yeah, I am at the minute now. Again, I have said this on a number of streams, and I've also said it on my couple of TikTok lives as well. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't go into 2026. And in fairness, and I've also said this as well, I hope I am wrong. I actually do hope I'm wrong, because I would like to see us go into, I would like to see us actually go into 2026. Therefore, the market should go higher. But as it stands right now, I am still sitting on my original statement, which is 25th of October was my initial first peak. Was my top between 145 and 165. So yeah, we'll see. We will see whether that gets there or not. Pie Nation, thanks for the heart, mate. Appreciate it. Are you bullish on H-bar? Yes. Although I don't own any yet, but it's on my list of things to get. I'm waiting for a bit more of a dip to get in. But yeah, H-bar, definitely looking pretty optimistic. Go and check out my YouTube channel. There is a full video that breaks down exactly why holding 1,000 H-bar might be a good idea. So definitely check that out. Definitely check that out. 25th October top, that's mental. Surely there isn't enough time to go parabolic between now and then. I mean, break it down like this, okay? Break it down like this. So between now and the 25th of October, you have got the best part of, what, 36 days to do 20%. You need 0.5%-ish a day. It's not that crazy. It's not that crazy. Again, it needs a couple of things to come in, because I think if you say the other side and say, well, you either then go macro 2026, so we're going way, way deeper into 2026 than many people think, which then means you would expect a either marginal increase in the price or a potential dump in the price, because that would be the other bit as well. So yeah, that's kind of my view. And I think given the fact that you are starting to see a little bit in terms of what the Fed's doing, and equally what I talked about right at the very start of the show, which I think once the Fed gets to that 850 billion, or the US Treasury gets to that 850 billion, then we could start to see some stuff flow into the market. We'll see. What do you think about Pi Network from your end? I got really, look, I've never minded it. I've never been in it. I know the community have. I've never really been that bothered about it. Have I even deleted this? Oh, I thought I had it on here. So I'm not super crazy on it, but at the same time, and I've always maintained this when I talk about it, is that I think with the community it's got and what it's built out, I think it's fine. The risk you've got is there is still, I believe, a lot of tokens to unlock and a lot of people to get hold of them, which, given its price, I mean, what's its price right now? I haven't even checked it. Anyone know, just off the top of my head? 35 cents. I just don't see a world where, I mean, that's not fair, actually. I do see a world where this could come back, but I don't see it anytime soon. It literally just looks like, yeah, not great. Mid-November before people cash out for Christmas. You think, Calamari, yeah? Mid-November, interesting. Not seeing much crypto today, been down the fairground. I actually saw you put a TikTok out earlier on, I think, fairground. I came up. Like Cornwall Fair or something, is that right? Yeah. Advantis still pumping. Oh, man, yeah, some people are telling me about that. Some people are telling me about Advantis. AVNT, right? Let's bring it up. You guys, someone wanted to look up Velo as well, so let me bring this up. Let me close this. AVNT. Yeah, man, it's up 60%. Holy shit. Look at that. $463 million market. Yeah, this thing's going crazy right now. This thing is going crazy. What the hell? John Shaw becoming a channel member. Let's get it, John. Welcome in, you massive legend. Appreciate you, John, as always. Annoyingly, though, why is that so far down there? That shouldn't be down there. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, John. Why is your chat box so far down there? How do I think I must have... How do I do this? Chat. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's like trim the bottom off. I need to fix that. That's annoying. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, John. Height 800. Okay. Hey, there we go. Look at that. That looks better. Right. Appreciate you, John. John, are you in the Discord as well? Because if you are, you now, as the legend you are, get full access to our premium Discord server. So welcome in. We'll obviously be bringing the summary later on. So if you are ready for that, get ready. It's going to be epic. Yeah, just if you want to just message me or tell me what your name is, then that would be good, and then I can move you across. Oh, I've got you. I've got you. I've got you. I think this is you. There you go. You will now have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more rooms. Yeah, I think I found you. 5 more rooms. So there you go. Check that out, John. Welcome in. Welcome to becoming a channel member. If anyone's interested, by the way, link is in the description. Yeah, I got you, buddy. Check it in Discord right now. You should have access to our trade signals, our alpha calls, chart requests, and our bots that's in there as well that you can basically get to bring up any charts while in the Discord. So yeah, thank you for becoming a channel member, mate. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Additionally, oh, hold on a minute. I missed that. Shawnee, what's going on, buddy? Welcome. What do you think of Solana? Super bullish on Solana. Have you seen that they're going to try and push Solana to 8% APR? It's crazy. It's currently at 6.45, which is pretty good news. So yeah, bullish on Solana. Every single bit of Solana I own is staked. Every single bit. Met my future son-in-law today. Hey, bullish. Where is that chopper? Where are those choppers? They're not in here. Additionally, pioneers are currently spending Pi coin through. Yeah, look, don't get me wrong with Pi, by the way. They've got some really good stuff. I'm not saying they don't, by the way, at all. But they've got to ride this out. It could be like another year until it starts to get moving. But yeah, XRP, mate. Yeah, bullish on XRP. Seoul XRP conference this week as well. I think it is. Could be good. Could be good. Everyone about Pi, but it was free to mine, so free money just can't. Yeah, exactly. That's true. Advantis has been an absolute beast. I caught Advantis, missed Asta. Yeah, nice. Nice. Yeah, this is Advantis looks good. Right, someone was asking about Velo. I'm assuming you mean this Velo. I think we looked at this every night. I want to start looking at some of these charts because I'm pretty sure people just ask about them every single night. You can get the video steps from my bio and actually great. Yeah, I've definitely looked into it, by the way. I actually covered it for a little bit on the channel, but I haven't done it for a while. Right, Velo is kind of looking okay. It needs to break to the upside. I think if it pushes below 141, by the way, I would be pretty concerned about this. So we'll see. But yeah, is it going to get a reversal? That's what you got to ask yourself. That's what you got to ask yourself. How high can meme coins go to? I mean, Dogecoin's like, what, $40 billion? So yeah, it depends. Depends. The question isn't how high can meme coins go. The question is, can you find the right meme coin? Bear in mind, there's like 20,000 meme coins launched every hour on Solana or something crazy like that. But yeah, I mean, you can grab, I mean, look at like, I mean, Asta's not really a meme coin, but people are buying that 10 cents. Like you get 10x on that mother trucker. So yeah, I think it depends that you are, but my advice, by the way, that you, if you want to go all in on meme coins, you've got to be all in. Like you've got to be dialed in the market. You've got to be trading away. I actually caught a couple of memes. I'm back. I wouldn't say I'm back super crazy trading meme coins, but I'm back doing some bits with meme coins, and they are playing out all right actually. Oh yeah, look at this. All right, cool. You might notice something here. I've got some jazzy new indicators that I'll be talking about anyway soon. And if you are traders, by the way, I definitely recommend bringing the premium Discord. I might even be able to get you a discount on some indicators coming soon. So yeah, watch out. Watch this space is what I would say. But yeah, that's what I would say with meme coins. How high can they go? Pretty high if you catch the right one. Equally, you can lose everything in like a split second. Nia holding up very well. Nia's doing very well today, actually. IOTA and Algo, most undervalued layer ones. I definitely agree with you on Algorand, albeit it had a nice little move. But yeah, I mean, look, people still think I'm crazy. I would definitely be keeping your eyes on World of Bit Financial. Like, that thing could be an absolute monster if they get their shit together. It really could. But yeah, where's Algorand? Oh, it don't matter, actually. I was going to tell you. I don't mind, actually. I don't mind saying this. I've unstaked all mine and the investment group's Jupiter, by the way. Just if anyone is staked on it. I know I've been talking about this for a while, and I've been like the biggest advocate for staking Jupe. I've unstaked it, and I'll tell you the reason why. I can't find a reason to keep it staked right now. I don't know a reason why. There's an argument that you may be getting some bespoke airdrops. I don't and haven't seen any, so I've unstaked. I haven't sold it yet. It's a 30-day unstake period, but I've unstaked all Jupe because I don't know necessarily. I don't know necessarily when it's going to go that way, in my opinion. So yeah. Yeah, don't message people that tell you to message them in the chat, by the way. So Gen XRP, you don't need to, no need to message you, bro. Come on, don't be that guy, I'll get yeeted out. Don't message. If anyone says to you, message me, that means they're trying to either scam you or they've got something that they're done. Good on you, Cassie. Good on you. Just ask the questions in this chat and we'll try and answer the best we can. Yeah. Love it. Love it. Pie Nation, thanks for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. How's Grippy getting on? Yeah, it's doing all right, actually. Where's it at right now? It's down 3% of the day, holding at a $1.39 million market cap. This, just FYI, by the way, if you're not in the Discord, this actually got called, what did I call this at? 700 and what? 713k. So again, if you were in this one, actually rallied to like 1.8 million or something like that. If you want to get those calls, you know where to get them. Just become a channel member. Good. Tibit, when's the cycle over? Can you see Toshi passing Brett in market cap? Toshi possibly the face of base. So there's a lot of debate right now. I think you're going to see a bit of a decent move on a lot of base coins because everyone's kind of debating whether Aerodrome is going to get it, whether they're going to go to a new coin. So yeah, I mean, I am still in a world, by the way, where I think the market finishes in 2025. People maybe don't agree with me. In fact, I think most people don't agree with me, but at the minute, I'm still in that place. So yeah, I will certainly be keeping very nice, Casey. I love it. I'll certainly keep him very close to this market over the sort of the next 4 weeks to see what happens. But do I think Toshi could pass Brett? What's the difference right now between the two? I don't know the difference between those. I don't know the difference between the two. What's going to happen with H-bar prices? Hopefully it's going to go up. Hopefully it's going to go up. We've talked about H-bar a few times actually. And where we think it could go. So, right, where's Toshi? So what's Brett? Oh, Toshi's here at what? $352 million market cap. Brett's at 505. I mean, it's up big in the last 7 days. It's got to go some miles to get up to that. What does it need? $150 million in market cap. I mean, it's possible. I guess the question would be why? Why would it go significantly higher than Brett, as an example? Possible. Calamari, at least 2x bearish case. What's that for? Oh, what's going to happen with it? Oh, with H-bar, yeah. But yeah, I mean, could it do? Yeah. I mean, I still think there's definite mileage in some of these coins, some of these meme coins. Pudgy Penguins we've talked about. I still think Pepe is going to do very, very well. I've now convinced myself that buying more Pepe is not a good idea. I'm just like, right, okay. However, I should have been buying XRP when I was like, oh, I'm just not buying XRP anymore. I'm not going to buy it. I should have just been like, buy more XRP. Anyway, what's a good investment in a meme coin, mate? It depends what you're looking for, right? It depends what you're looking for. There is two types of ways, in my view, by the way, to play the meme coin market. You either try and get in early, right? So you either try and find the newest launch, get the coin before everyone else gets super hyped on it, or you try and go and understand which coins are going to do better. So I like to do both. I would argue that the bigger proportion of what I put into meme coins are in things like Pepe and Bonk, where I think they're going to do very, very well this cycle. And then I have a smaller proportion that is literally trying to find the next Pepe and Bonk, if that makes sense. That's how I would trade it. So if you're in it and you're like, okay, I want to get some exposure to newer coins with potentially higher returns, but I accept there is higher risk, then yeah, you want to be trying to get into any of these, either big ones. Log it off, big boy. Catch you on the next time. See you later, Al. Al, are we not doing a call tonight? No? If you can't make it, it's fine. I don't necessarily think there's anything crazy going on. But yeah, that's my view on the meme coins, by the way. As Calamari says, in Pepe we believe. I mean, that's my view. So Pepe and Bonk, I'm sort of in that place where I am dialed into them. Equally, by the way, he could easily see something like Fartcoin doing well. I mean, could Toshi do well? I mean, I see people talking about it all the time, in fairness. I mean, I called Peanut the Squirrel. I thought that might come back a little bit. But like I said, it is an absolute, it's a challenge, the old meme coin market, isn't it? Let's just call it that, by the way. Let's call it that. So yeah. Anyway, that's my view. If it's for what it's worth, that's my view. Boom, boom, boom. I actually added to my Pepe. Did you, Calamari? Yeah. See, I could still DCA into Pepe, but when I look at it and I just go, I don't know if I want to put any more money. I mean, I looked at it the other day and it was like $600, and I'm like, oh my God, I've got $600 in Pepe. Like, is this a good idea? I don't know if it is or not. I don't know if it is. So, yeah, put it Asta, buy Asta, bro. Come on. I mean, there's a debate to argue to say maybe. I did think to myself after, so again, I bought 171, sold 192, and I was in a bit of a whirl like, okay, maybe I take the opportunity and go back in lower. Shut up, jeez, I hate you so much. Oh dear, I've got more, mate. So going more. I mean, that's true. I mean, yeah, look, I'm sat on a bit of dry powder, a bit of capital that I want to see. Yeah, look, people don't use DCA. It's such a good tool. Again, I did it last night. Bought Astra at 171. It dumped to 158, and I was like, screw it, I'm just going to buy a little bit more. It turned out to be a brilliant play, actually, because obviously they then pumped up to 171, and it was like happy days. 192. It was happy days. 420's in the house, albeit he's under the bio of Lauren Babb. What's going on, 420? Or what's going on for Babs? Oh, I don't know if that even works, to be honest. I don't know if that works. 420 Lauren was telling us about last night's. Get out of here. Yeah, I know, Holmes. I know. Sometimes old habits, you know what I mean? Old habits are hard to break, I think is what they officially say. So, yeah. Trying to learn DCA as a new person is literally, yeah, 100%. Honestly, I've been talking about this for a while. If you ladder in and ladder out and you DCA on positions, it is literally the superpower that every single person just forgets. And you're like, oh my God, just do it. Definitely the way forward. Like, it can be such a powerful tool. Such a powerful tool. Hey, Pie Nation, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. You're welcome anytime, my man, as well. Don't forget, we do have a free Discord. If you want to join that, link in the bio. Come and join us. It's worth it, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, you too, buddy, and catch you some other time. Fingers crossed. What is DCA dollar cost averaging? Like, think of it this way. Let's say you, Andy Box, coming in fresh with a channel membership. Let's get it, Andy. Thank you so much, pal. Andy, you in the Discord as well? If you are, let me know, and I'll get it over. So basically DCAing. Imagine you buy a coin, right? You're super hyped about a coin. You're like, man, I need to get into this. Everyone's talking about it. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. And you buy it. And the best way I could describe DCAing, right? The best way I describe DCAing is, have you or do you feel that every time you buy a coin, it goes down, right? If you do, then you are buying at the wrong point. What DCA allows you to do is it gives you a little bit of flexibility. So let's say that you've got a coin at $10 or $1. Let's say you've got a coin at $1 and you've got $2,000 to invest. And you say, well, I want to buy this coin. Some people full clip the 2,000 and they buy straight away. And 9 times out of 10, that's going to dump and it's going to come down. And people go, oh my God, every time I buy a coin, it goes to freaking zero. Every time it goes to zero. Andy, if you can, will you type in the... Oh, I found you. I've got you. Man, you guys are right. There you go, buddy. Welcome into the premium Discord. Congrats. So yeah. And so people just chuck $2,000 in and then they hope for the best, right? So you are at that point. What you can do is you say, well, okay, it's at $1 and I want to get in. So I'm going to put $500 in at $1. Then you hedge your bets. So let's say it goes down to 90 cents and you put another 500 in. Therefore, your average price now becomes 95 cents versus $1. Yeah, you could argue it might go up and you miss it. But at that point, you have got, $1,000 in the market and you've brought the average buying price down. That's the key bit, right? So then it dumps a little bit more, you drop a little bit more in. And the idea then is if you bought at, say, a big market price where people have got overhyped to the markets, all the rest of it, you can buy on the way down, thus making your average buying price lower. Therefore, you need less move to the upside to get to break even. It's good in terms of riskier plays. It's good to just be confident that that's actually a good idea. Asta was a great one for me recently. Like I said, last night. I mean, we were chatting a little bit in the Discord late last night. About a couple of us were in there. So, is stream lagging or is it just my signal? I think it's your signal, bro. I haven't dropped a singular frame. Singular frames are all good. But yeah, that's the power of DCAing. And so many people don't do it. They just full clip like their full amount they want to invest, which again, comes back to the point of saying, how much do you want to invest and how are you going to invest it? Rather than people just go, right, I've got 1,000 and I'm just going to go shopping. This market's not the same. So yeah. Do you need an app to get into Discord? You can connect to it via a browser, but it is advisable just to have the Discord app. But yeah, check out, if you click the link on my bio, it'll either take you to it or yeah, it'll let you know where the app is. But yeah, that's my opinion anyway. But DCAing is definitely a superpower that so many people don't use. The same as laddering. And actually, I'm got some content coming that's going to be for a like how-to guide, if you like, for the Discord. It's going to talk about laddering in, laddering out. It's going to talk about DCAing, all the kind of things where you can go to as someone who's brand new, and then sort of educate yourself a little bit more. Yeah. You can also DCA up if you genuinely believe in the project dependent. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's XDC, mate? So XDC is like, man, how would you describe it? Like traditional finance payment system. Yeah, it's probably where I would get to it. They've got some pretty big partners, I think. So, and it's an ISO coin as well. So yeah. Calamari, I haven't yet, but I think it's got another about 10 days, right? I think I will, by the way. But again, let's say I've got 1,000 to invest in that. I'll do 500 in the pre-sale and 500 at launch. If you're going for crypto bubbles, yeah. Again, I've talked about XDC on my series, 1,000 coins to hold this bull market, which, by the way, is one of the most popular series I have on the channel. Yeah, it's doing all right. In fairness, it's had a nice spike today. I think it's up about 4%. I think it's up about 4%. So yeah. Just tell him basically DCA spreads the buying cost, which gives him an average buying price. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly that. Crypto Homes, what's going on? Andy Box says, am I the oldest member at 59? I love that though, Andy. I literally love that. Mate, you're as old as you feel. And I mean, I'm 42, bro. Just means we've got more money to put in the market. 1,000 coins to hold, guarantee a couple of winners. I mean, that is true. That is true. It's 1,000 of a particular coin. We need some new ones, actually. Ondo was the last one we did. Well, I think we've done XDC, HBAR, XRP. I haven't done Algorand, actually. Will there be financial? A couple of others. I'm older. Fairground 62. Fairground is 62. There we are. Anyone beat 62? You will never be more bullish than the top comment and 37 upper. Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Project really seems impressive. First of that kind of project, I think. Anyway, yeah, I mean, that's true. Bradley following. What's going on, buddy? Welcome in, as always. Don't forget, everybody, if you want to just hit the follow button and tap the screen, would massively appreciate it. Does help the channel, by the way. And also, if you are here on YouTube as well, only at 37 likes. Pretty quiet tonight. So, again, just do me a little favor. Tap up that like button. It would be massively appreciated. We're doing a call afterwards. I mean, I'm cool with it. You know, if anyone gets in there. I mean, Al doesn't seem like he's doing it, so I don't know. No, let's do. Yeah, someone asked me about Chainlink earlier. Okay, let's do Chainlink. Where do we see Chainlink going? Well, look, on the daily candles, it is still bullish. However, if you are looking to take a trade on Chainlink, by the way, and I'll show you the actual chart. Here you go, look. Then I would be looking to come down a little bit further. I think Chainlink could push down, dependent on the market. But this key level that we have here, we've had this on the chart now, 22,495 is probably the key level. Would hit the 50-day exponential moving average of the big yellow line. But right now, in my opinion, Chainlink is actually a little bit bearish. Take it for the big candle bodies. Look at this. Chainlink's a little bit bearish in my opinion. But again, if you are looking to take the opportunity, what you can argue here is this is holding up pretty well on this support line. Again, it's converging with the 50-day exponential moving average. Therefore, could actually play out pretty interesting. Also, you will notice the charts kind of playing out as we normally see this. So again, up, the retest, the upper retest as well. You know, you can sort of see this. So therefore, I think a retest at the bottom potentially could see a breakout to the upside. So I think, look, I think Chainlink's all right. It's got a lot of good stuff going on in the background that I think people neglect. And I've been talking about Chainlink as one of those that I think people will miss. And then all of a sudden it'll be like $30. Just my opinion. Calamari says I got Kiss says I got some Pepe. Nice. Nice. Can you review JetVoy coin? JetVoy coin. I mean, I can take a look at it. JetVoy. Oh, here, look. Is it this one? $2.87 million market cap. Is that you guys? You have to tell me if that's you guys before I give my opinion. Jet Void Coin. That's you guys, okay? Okay. I mean, okay. Let me just be dead honest. There's the chart. Your chart looks insane, right? I mean, that looks like a crazy, crazy move. Here's my challenge to you. What are you doing about the volume? And the holders are pretty low. So yeah, bullish on your market cap, bullish on your liquidity. That's epic. What are you doing about your volume? Your volume's dreadful at $500. So, I mean, chart looks great, by the way. You got a Q coin listing. Holy crap. Fair play to you. I mean, that's going to do it. That is going to do it. But yeah, you got massive liquidity. Why have you got so much liquidity to market cap? I mean, it's epic, by the way, but yeah. Right, okay. Bullish. Bullish. 5,000 XRP is good. I think so, yeah. Yeah. Look, my view, by the way, is if you've got XRP, that's probably a good idea. But yeah, I mean, yeah, fair play. Fair play. Can't argue with that. But yeah, I reckon you're all right. Like I said, there's loads of stuff coming with XRP. I actually talked about this yesterday. Yeah, I actually talked about this on my video that I did about XRP. Like, go and just understand what's coming. We could see like the craziest ETF week ever. Like, we could really see the craziest ETF week ever. Hopefully we do. I'd like to see like all 20 XRP ETFs listed this week. By the way, if anyone was curious, we'll see kind of what happens. The Rex Osprey ETF actually closed down at 24.67 on Friday. So obviously we didn't do a live stream on Saturday, but you know, worth thinking about. Worth thinking about, in my opinion. Which is good. Yeah. Hey, Jetboy, thanks for following. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. You know, hit me up in some DMs. I'm sure we can talk about some bits. Crundle. Gavin Bainbridge says Crundle. Why do I feel like I've heard that? Crundle. Why do I feel like I've heard about that coin? Am I making that up? Anyone else? Crundle. Is it Crundle? Yeah, Crundle. Kind of feel like I've heard about that. XRPs is in the house. What's going on, Burn? Treat Bitcoin XRP like a 401k. There you go, let you see. What do you think of Zebek? Oh man, what's Zebek doing right now? Tim, you normally know what's going on with Zebek. Where's it at? Down 3.5%. I mean, okay, I like the tech. I like the coin. I did own Zebek, but I sold it all on the last pump to the upside because I didn't like the fact that it seemed to trade opposite to the rest of the market, which I couldn't get my head around. Now, the only thing I would say is it has broken down, and it probably is at a key level right now, the 3822 range. If it loses this, you could see it come down a little bit further as well. So, yeah, that's kind of where Zebek sits right now. It could even come as low as like 3-4, so it's going to need to get a little bit of a wriggle on, isn't it? It's going to need to get a little bit of a wriggle on, but I do kind of like it. I do kind of like it. And I know quite a few in the community are bullish on it, but yeah. We'll see. Let's go. Let's go. 30,000 likes. Killing it. Love it. Love it. Just put the link in your page. Link to your TG. You can do that, right? Yeah. Maybe. What's going on? Young Bliss. Bagwork. What the hell is bagwork? I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is, bro. Thoughts on Asta? Ah. Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about this in the Discord last night. I traded some last night. I bought in at 171, way overpriced. DCA'd on 158, sold at 196 this morning. I like the concept. I like decentralized trading. Do I do a lot of decentralized trading? No. Is it way overhyped at the minute? Maybe. Maybe. And I was talking about this in the Discord. I actually put it in the trade signals that basically said, yeah, anyone, hold on a minute. I put it down, didn't I? Anyone thinking of getting into Asta, I would just wait and see how the market plays out today. A push to the downside is happening from the recent all-time high. It literally pushed all the way down. My view is that it would be a risk to enter right now until this move plays out. And I called that, and it was at 177, which was a perfect call. I mean, literally a perfect call. So, now, do I think it's got some potential? Yeah. I think it's also got some good pushing on the back end of it. So, I mean, it feels like it may be on a reversal right now. I'd want to see another confirmation 4-hour candle personally. Just my opinion. That's kind of what I'd like to see. It does look like it is trying to reverse, which therefore could play out. But yeah, just have to be careful with stuff like that. Again, when you look at kind of I always look at who's talking about it, why are they talking about it, what is their view of it, and I think it's important. But yeah, on my second channel, 2-Bit Crypto Memes, go and have a look at it. I did actually talk about it a bit more specifically over there. Always wait for the open in the market. Yeah, true. I think a good entry, 120, you could get a high as 120? I mean, yeah, I mean, that would be a pretty crazy entry, in fairness, if you think it's going to go that low. I don't know whether it would go that low, but I mean, potentially. I mean, it's down 11%, but it's been way overhyped, hasn't it? I mean, think about it. Think about it. It launched, what, Friday, 4 o'clock in the morning, and has just been pumping to oblivion since then. So, yeah. Been hearing this week, next week, we're going to be rich with crypto 4 years later. Still hearing this week, next week, I'm sick. James? How can I say this without sounding like a complete dickhead? I don't want to sound like a dickhead here, right? I don't want to sound like a dickhead. Please don't take it that I am, and please don't take it that I am being unkind or not very nice. That's not true. If you've been in this market for 4 years, you should absolutely be sat there thinking, holy shit, I made some fantastic trades and I took some fantastic coins in the bottom of the bear market. And right now, yes, I want to, finish work and go and live on an island. Yeah, thanks, Cheese. But, I mean, that means you had the opportunity to buy Solana at $8. That means you had the opportunity to buy Ethereum at under 1,000. That means you had the opportunity to buy XRP at 35 cents. What the fuck have you been doing for 4 years? And again, I don't mean that in a nasty way, by the way. But what I do think, James, is you should head down there, click that subscribe button, turn your notification bell on. That way you're not going to miss a live stream going forward. That way you're going to keep dialed into the market because, yeah, we have been in here every day through collapses of markets. When Solana was $8, we were buying as much as we could. When XRP was 40 cents, we were buying it. We literally bought it live on the stream. So, yeah. So I feel bad. So click the subscribe button and then that won't happen again. Let's go over economic catalyst for this week. XRPZ. Touched on this earlier on. There's not a great deal of stuff going on that is public, right? That is public, but there is some key data points that we're going to think about and key things that are going to happen. What do we get tomorrow? There's a couple of speeches. There is, in fact, I'm telling a lie, there is an important speech coming tomorrow, an important speech, and it's coming at 5 p.m. UTC plus 1, right? So UTC plus 1, which is that UTC minus 1? What am I on right now? I think I'm on, what are we on? I can't even think. Are we? Someone help me out. UTC. Are we UTC right now? UTC plus 1. Okay, yes, we're UTC plus 1. Okay, fine. So, UK time tomorrow, 5 p.m. Stephen Mirren is giving a full speech on why he thinks the Fed should be at 50 basis points, right? Full speech, okay? That's going to be an interesting one. He was the only one to advocate for 50 basis points. He is very bullish, and he's a Trump appointee Fed bomber. So, watch out for that one. The Stephen Mirren speech at 5 p.m. could be pretty interesting. Also, he's pro-cryptocurrency as well. So keep an eye on that. When we sort of walk through the rest of it, Jerome Powell is speaking on Tuesday, 5:35 UK time. That could be interesting. I don't necessarily know what it's about yet, but we'll keep an eye on it. But he's going to be speaking on Tuesday. That could be a pretty interesting day. A couple of earnings reports coming on Tuesday. Wednesday, not a lot going on. Thursday, you've got the durable goods GDP growth rate quarter over quarter. That could be interesting. How have tariffs implicated the markets? You've got jobless claims coming in as well. Wholesale inventories, again, have they been deleveraging? Have we been taking risk? Bear in mind, you pay if you've got inventory. Jobless claims 4-week average comes in. In fact, Thursday is going to be pretty crazy. PCEs in Thursday. Fed consumer spending also coming in Thursday as well. So watch out for that. Friday, core PCE comes in along with personal income month over month. Michigan consumer sentiment could be interesting as well. It's not the craziest things, but it could be the interesting bit based on the fact Michigan looking to put that Bitcoin strategic reserve in place. So yeah, that's where I would be at. And then the week after, it's all a bit boring. Really, nothing crazy coming the week after, to be honest. Then you get into October. And October could end up being pretty spicy, if we're honest. Hopefully, we get some good months in October, baby. Wednesday, October 15th, CPI. Boom, boom, boom. Gary Gensler, did you see the thing? Did you see that? Team. The Gary Gensler, if anyone wants to see the Asta video, look at me and Mr. Beast. It's got 26 views. Go and watch it. Right, hold on a minute. Let me just bring this up. By the way, if you are interested in supporting the channel, you can just be super bullish and get involved. So, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but let's talk about this one. I think it's this video. Yeah, here it goes. Did you guys see this? So this was Gary Gensler, the former Fed chair, on, he was talking on CNBC, right? Listen to this. You can listen to it as well, TikTok, because it's kind of fun, right?
They are reversing a lot of what you did. And how are you feeling about what they're doing now?
So I'm very proud of what we accomplished.
And the crypto community is ecstatic not to have you there anymore and to have him there. Looking back on it, I mean, do you think that was the right call?
Yes, I think.
Because look, now we have this like burgeoning industry and there's so much more innovation and leadership in the U.S.
And a lot more
crypto.
capital coming into it.
There may be more capital in terms of the interest in the public. The public is interested. I get that.
Listen to what he says about Bitcoin, by the way.
But for investors,
You think this is dangerous, what they're doing?
put aside Bitcoin, but most of the other tokens are not tied to any fundamentals. Like Warren Buffett would say, what are the goods? What are the revenues? What are they selling? And so forth.
Old Gary Gensler, what a chopper. Yeah, he's like, oh, well, put aside Bitcoin. Bitcoin's actually okay. Apparently he alleges, or there's an alleged that he's like gone pro crypto. I mean, imagine that. Imagine that. I saw that one of your videos. I purged the scam. Ah, Tim, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. They are relentless. Devo, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate you, buddy. Can you look at Trundle? Another Simpson prediction. Really? Trundle? Do you looking at penny stocks? No. I used to do dividend stocks, but not anymore. I do all crypto, basically. All crypto. Gary Gans sends regards to everybody. Yeah, imagine. So we'll be getting our money this year. I don't know what you mean. We'll be getting out our money this year. I don't know what that means. Gensler owns a lot of XRP. There is a rumor Gary's goes pro Bitcoin and I'm out. Yeah. Gensler, no. Anyway, right. As always, man, there's like 65 people. There's more people in my TikTok live than there is on my YouTube live. What is that about? Love it, though. Love it. But yeah, Gavin, I'll definitely take a look at Trundle. I don't know if I've looked at it, to be honest. I don't know if I looked at it, but yeah, we'll take a look. Anyway, definitely setting up for a pretty interesting week ahead. We'll definitely need to stay close to the markets. BTC is pushing down a little bit. Maybe this is just before the markets start to open. Maybe it is before we start to see a little bit of a push into this market. The debate is going to be what do the markets look like? What do the pre-market data tell us? Well, the reality is that we are expecting the Dow to be pretty aggressive. Don't forget, we have an upside momentum to push. The NASDAQ looks good. The Nikkei and the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, though, looks not great. All right. They look like they may do a little bit of selling off. So we will see how that plays off. It says the Discord link has expired. Oh, really? Really? It shouldn't do. That's kind of annoying if it does. Does it really? Hold on a minute. Can I do anything with my profile? Oh, here we go. Okay. Give it like 5 minutes. Give it 5 minutes and I will update it. But it shouldn't do. It should be the same as it always says. Invite people. Copy. Okay. Does it end? It should end NG42. Does it end NG42? If it doesn't, then I'll update it. But we'll obviously be back tomorrow night talking all things cryptocurrency. Again, thank you to all those that become channel members tonight. You massive legends. We appreciate you. And yeah, all our trade updates as well as our signal calls will be done later on. So watch out for that. Could be a pretty interesting day in the markets tomorrow. We'll obviously keep you certainly dialed in. And yeah, the StreamYard one does that 2-bit. Yeah, I don't use StreamYard one though. I don't use Streamyard. So anyway, I'll have a look at it in literally 2 minutes. Investment group, I will see you guys in the chat room in just a minute. And yeah, until then, thank you so much for tuning in. I will catch you guys all back here tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it.